Listen to the story Elephant Feast by Suchanda Sarkar. The children snuggled up to Grandma. It was story time, and Grandma had many interesting stories to share.
"Tell us one of your forest stories, Grandma,"
said Seher. "Yes," said Sadat. "Tell us one about a tiger."
"No, tell us one of your elephant stories, like the one about the newborn elephant calf that made you fall, or the one about the wild elephant that rubbed its back against your house and you thought it was an earthquake. Were you very frightened, Grandma?"
"Oh yes, I was. Well, I'll tell you an elephant story which will show you how intelligent these animals are. They are also very organized and caring creatures. Long ago, when your grandpa was a forest officer, he was sent to Bengdubi. It is a forest outpost near Siliguri at the foothills of the Himalayas. That area is known as the Dwars, which means doors to the mountains. He was sent there to check on what the people living there called the elephant menace. Wild elephants were wandering into rice fields and eating up the crops at night. The night guards tried to scare off the hungry beasts, but the elephants were not so easily frightened. Your grandpa went out to inspect the place. He found that a large part of the forest had been cut down. Only a very narrow part of the old forest area remained, and the elephants lived there. Elephants need large spaces to live in, and they also need a lot of food. The people had taken these away. How would you feel if your home was taken away and you didn't have enough to eat?
"Very bad, of course,"
said Sadat. Well, the wild elephants kept getting hungrier and hungrier, and they also became angry. A hungry animal is an angry animal. Once they even chased a man down the forest road and broke the wall of a house in search of food for their little one. Not far from the village, there was an old granary where the farmers stored their grain till they could sell it to a merchant. Early one morning, an elephant, clearly the leader of the herd, appeared at the granary. After looking around for a while, it returned to its herd. A little later, two men who were on their way to the granary saw the herd move towards the granary in an almost military order. The alarmed men speedily climbed a banyan tree and hid themselves among its leafy branches. They watched the elephants. The walls of the granary were thick and strong, but the elephants seemed to have a plan. One elephant went around it, as if inspecting it. One of the largest elephants of the herd then took up position at a corner of the granary and started hitting the wall with its tusks. When it was tired, another took over, and then another, till several bricks gave way. An opening was created, and soon it was made larger and larger. When they had made a hole big enough for an elephant to enter, the herd divided itself into groups of 3 or 4, since only a few could find room inside. Then, one by one, each group entered the granary to feast on the paddy. When one group had eaten all it could, its place was taken by another. One of the elephants stood guard at a distance. After all the elephants had feasted to their fullest, the guard trumpeted loudly, and the herd rushed off into the forest.
"Wow, Grandma,"
said Seher.
"That's just like an army raid."
"Yes," said Grandma. "As I told you before, elephants are very intelligent creatures. Also remember that they are very caring, protective, and completely unselfish animals.